Did Brook Lynn think that I would be angry with her? Ashamed of her? Disown her? Or did she think I just didn't care?
No, it wasn't like that.
Then what was it like, Lois? Because I was under the impression that Brook Lynn and I, were close. That she felt like she was comfortable enough to tell me anything.
What teenage daughter wants to tell her father that she's pregnant? I don't even think Brook Lynn wanted to tell me she was pregnant, but she needed my help. She felt so ashamed.
Uh-huh. And then you reinforced that shame by covering it up?
No, I did what I thought was best for our daughter. Brook Lynn knew she didn't want to terminate the pregnancy, so I had to figure out a way how to get her out of town before she started showing, so that she could have the baby in private. I didn't want her whole life to be derailed because of one careless moment.
I agree, and I would have supported your decision, and hers. Lois, I would have helped.
Maybe. Or maybe the Quartermaines would have swooped in and taken the baby as if it were just another asset.
Lois, you've always had a problem with my family, but even you have to admit that the Quartermaines would have loved Brook Lynn's child.
And even you have to admit that they would have felt that they were within their rights to control that child. Gio had the right to grow up to be whoever and whatever he wanted to be.
So you gave him to your cousin, Camilla?
It was my ma's idea, but when she floated it to me, I was on board. Gio grew up happy and healthy, and we were right there in case anything went wrong. We weren't thinking of how it would affect people 20 years later.
I've been living with my own grandson for over a year.
I know it wasn't fair. I really felt like it was the best solution for everyone. And I told myself that doing right by Brook Lynn and Gio would have been what you wanted. Was I wrong?
You were right when you said your decision wasn't fair.
That's one way of putting it.
Liv, sorry I kept you waiting. Let's get out of here. I'm done here.
No, you go on ahead. I gotta have some words with my good friend, Lois.
Brook Lynn.
What up, y'all? This your boy Ace here. And welcome to Afternoons Delight. Let's get to it, you guys. Let's get to it, man. So I want to go through these kind of really fast because I just realized how many videos I'm gonna have to do today. So I'm gonna have to cut some of these a little bit short. But let's start with Lois and Ned. So Lois was talking to Ned, right? And Ned was furious, just as everyone else is to Lois except for Sonny. Ned was more frustrated about Lois not telling them that Brook Lynn was pregnant, period. And Lois had a good point, like what teenage daughter is going to want to tell their father that they got pregnant? You know what I mean? So, when Lois put it that way, I was like, yeah, that is pretty true. That is pretty true. But still, to hide it from Ned, like after all these years, he missed out on being a grandfather earlier in Gio's life. Like, that is kind of insane when you think about it, man. Like, that's a really long time. You know? And even though initially Ned might have been upset with Brook Lynn for getting pregnant, eventually he would have had to deal with it. He would have warmed up to the ideal of being a grandfather. You know what I mean? So the whole thing was just mismanaged. But I know Lois was coming from the right place because she was explaining like why it took her so long to explain this, really why she didn't want to come out earlier about it, because so many years had passed and things got really complicated once Camellia died. And it was really complicated. It's actually one of those situations where it's just, we could talk about it on the outside, like how easy it could have been for Lois to just tell the truth, but really it's not. If it was, she would have came out with the truth a lot earlier. But it's just one of those things where it's tough. I know for sure, like, I'm not upset, me personally as a viewer, I'm not upset at Lois because I know her heart was in the right place. It was just kind of one of those things where it wasn't thought out well, but you gotta know, though, the only thing that I'm disappointed in with Lois, you gotta know secrets are going to be exposed one day, and if you hold them in too long, they're going to blow up in your face one day. So it is what it is, man. But these are some great scenes, man. Always great to see Ned on the show. But go ahead and give me your thoughts on this. We're going to talk about Olivia and Lois. Next to them, we're going to do Brook Lynn, Dante, then Lois and Sonny after that. But go on ahead and give me your thoughts on this, man. Give this video a like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Afternoons to light.